Hey everybody, it's time for The Plot Hole with your hosts, Johnny O and Jeremy Flair.
Are you gay?
Coming at you live.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Every Friday night at 8.
Every Friday night at 8.
On rockmetaltalk.com.
I went with jockeys here.
Something stinks like stale French fries.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
I killed your cat, you drunky bitch.
All right, so we were supposed to talk about what we're doing to kind of keep our minds occupied during all this shit, and everybody seems to be cooking. That's their go-to, right? So both of us were supposed to share a recipe or two for the people to try.
April couldn't get the volume to work. She should be able to. rockmetaltalk.com.
Yeah, rockmetaltalk.com. See, that's the thing that
that's the easiest one.
That's the best way to get both of us on the same. All right, so let's go here. What is your go-to? What is your go-to? Give us a good recipe. Something that don't be all executive chef Keith Grober about it. Okay, give us something that's a little more on the simple side.
No, I hear what you're saying. What's up, Nathan? How you doing? Nathan's with us. Do I still have you, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Nathan, you're now tuning in. If you want to hear me and Johnny at the same time, you can go to rockmetaltalk.com. That's www.rockmetaltalk.com and tune to the Plot Hole, which is happening right now. And then you can see other ways to get active with us here through different areas. But if you want to leave right now, go ahead and tune in. So something to cook right now. Well, I can tell you this, man. If we're keeping it real, with times like these, and usually I get to this point where, we have a lot of fun, we tell a lot of jokes, but we're all feeling very serious because we have to focus and not hide until Friday nights from 8 to 11. Mine's comfort food, man, and morale food. It really is. Typically, I don't really cook for myself very much because I'm so used to cooking for other people and nourishing other people. That's sort of like it's implanted in my soul. So I do like to do what's called a tamale cake.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so basically you can take, you can do one or two things. Or you can do three things, it doesn't matter. So this is what I like, that makes me feel great.
Let's hear it.
So basically the best part about a tamale is the masa. That's the make or break with a tamale cake. And the cool thing about if you have a good masa, you can actually bake it. So I would suggest this: go to a Mexican market, go to Walmart, go into the Latin section, and get a bag of maseca. And if you get a bag of maseca, you can also get manteca. But if you have chicken fat laying around, beef fat, you can use that in place of the lard, the pig fat. So you can substitute it, which is the fun about cooking. That's where it gets really fun.
Yeah.
As long as you know the standard kind of steps, then you can pretty much go freestyle. I've made it all three ways, and the beef fat is called tallow. So that means if you have a steak, a brisket, save the drippings, put it in a jar, seal up the jar, and just hang on to that shit. So if we're keeping it simple, just follow the directions on the back of the bag. And where I would alter it is when it asks you to do water, put in chicken stock.
Yeah.
Instead of water, because it's just it's more hearty, more flavorful. There's actually more nutrients. You can either make your own chicken stock. If you don't, then just don't worry about it. Just get You can get bouillon because what you're doing is pumping more flavor into it. Don't
be careful if you do that though, because the sodium content get out of hand. I wouldn't necessarily salt it.
There's no turning back from salty. So what to combat that is before you add if you do bouillon, chicken stock, go ahead and take a spoon and taste it, and that'll tell you the content of the salt level.
Right.
Because it really, you're going to go through all this effort, and it's really not that hard. It's easier than making like standard tamales. So we've done two things. One, follow the directions. It's on the back of the bag. Maseca. You can get manteca, which is lard. You can use your chicken fat drippings, or you can use bouillon, chicken stock in place of low sodium chicken stock. Let's go like that.
Well, I was just saying that if you do the chicken stock, I wouldn't add a whole lot of salt to your masa.
Yeah. Because what happens when it cooks, it condenses. The flavors kind of collapse on themselves. So it's going to become tense. Not too tense. I'm a teepee. I'm a wigwam. You're too tense. Not that. Okay. So all you have to do is take that mixture, and instead of using a corn husk, just take a baking sheet and just take a little spray, a little baking spray, and have parchment paper and line your cooking sheet, and set your oven to 325, and then pop that bitch in there, because this is the foundation of what's going to happen, and you're going to like this. You're going to like it so much. God, you're going to love this. Pop it in the oven. Cook it slowly, and let's keep an eye on it. I'm not going to. Everyone's oven is different, so I'm not going to tell you a specific time, but I will tell you this: follow the instructions. But the best way to check it out is the old school way. Take a toothpick, punch it into the masa cake, and if it's doughy, if it sticks to the tooth, then it's just cook it a little longer. But at 325, you should be going low and slow, so you have a less risk of messing it up. Okay, so once you achieve basically a kind of fluffy, dry, done consistency that will resemble cornbread, but has way more flavor, and you're going to notice the smell is amazing, like your grandma's house. I mean, at least mine. And use a dry towel and get that pan out there and put it on top of your stove. Close the oven. Okay. And if you really want to get fun with this, you can use your leftovers. I mean, figure out what's in your refrigerator. I mean, old tomatoes can be made into salsa or pico. Everybody has their own way of doing pico. I wouldn't do a bruschetta. It would kind of mix up the flavors a little bit and wouldn't make too much sense. So that's more Italian. This is going to be more Southwestern. You can use cheddar if you like cheddar. I would use probably, if I was doing it, I would do queso fresco or queso Oaxaca, which is a very think mozzarella, and it's also gonna. Here's the cool thing, Johnny. When you put that Oaxacan cheese in, if you didn't oversalt masa mixture, that replaces the salt content.
Right. Yeah.
And it's really good. I mean, it's like two birds with one. So I would really encourage people to use their leftovers. Probably, if you have any beef, if you have any chicken, and shred up and maybe retherm or reheat. Then add salt, taste it. Add tomato juice, taste it. Or if you have tomato paste, that's great too. It's tomato paste is actually what's called a español. but it's really it's a fancy word for, tomato paste in a tube. That can really brighten things up and enhance your cooking. Throw some garlic in there, fresh garlic, chopped cilantro. If you like jalapeno, if you like spice, do that. So basically, put your cheese on first. It depends on what you want. All you're doing from this point on is melting. And your oven's still on, so we're about to put it back in the oven. Put your protein. It could be chicken. It could be beef. It could be pork. It could be a pork chop. And you just kind of reheated it. Put that on top of the cheese. Flavor it to your taste, to your personal taste. Because basically, right now, I'm just describing the just basic steps. After you put the protein on, put more cheese on top. Whether it be queso fresco, Oaxaca, cheddar, cheddar jack. I wouldn't go with Gruyere or Swiss. No, it makes sense. And just pop it back in the oven that's still warm, and just let that melt a little bit. And
so this is kind of like a casserole.
Garnish with your jalapeno, your onion, your cilantro. If you made a pico, do a pico. If you want to put some salsa on top there, put that salsa on there. It really depends on you, but the star of the show is the masa cake. So after it's done, you should be able to easily slide the masa cake, which is going to look like a bread, but it's actually masa, and slide it onto a cutting board, cut into squares, and have fun with it. Throw some sour cream on there. Throw some, fresh crema.